Hey friends, sometimes a routine doctor visit turns into something you never expected. For Rachel Hyman, it started with a simple thought. Maybe I should talk to an eye doctor about my diabetes and color-blindness. Nothing dramatic, no warning signs, just a cautious step. But what happened next? It would change her life and reveal a rare, life-threatening condition that most doctors never encounter. If this kind of deep dive interests you, where personal stories meet medical mysteries, then you're in the right place. Consider subscribing to Mr. America, where we explore stories the mainstream media often overlook. Rachel didn't expect much, just a standard eye exam. But as the ophthalmologist began running tests, he noticed something off. Her retina wasn't reacting the way it should. There was no obvious cause, no direct link to her diabetes. That's when the questions began. And one by one, the puzzle pieces stopped making sense. The doctor referred Rachel for further testing, not because of a clear diagnosis, but because of a gut feeling. Something was wrong, and it wasn't textbook. Blood work, MRIs, genetic screening. Weeks passed, and with each test result, instead of clarity, came more confusion. What looked like diabetic retinopathy didn't follow the usual progression, and her color blindness, which she'd lived with for years, didn't match the typical patterns. Doctors started asking questions like, have you experienced any muscle weakness? Do you ever feel lightheaded after standing? Have you had sudden memory lapses? At this point, Rachel realized this wasn't just about her eyes anymore. Something deeper and darker was unfolding. Question for you all. Have you or someone you know ever had a medical condition misdiagnosed at first? Drop your stories in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Finally, a neurologist brought up a possibility that none of them had previously considered: mitochondrial disease, a group of rare disorders caused by dysfunctional mitochondria, the powerhouses of our cells. If they fail, organs begin shutting down. And the scariest part? There's often no cure. Rachel had a form that affected both her vision and her muscles, progressive and degenerative. Some patients with similar symptoms don't live beyond middle age. She wasn't just colorblind. She was facing a condition that could impact her heart, brain, and ability to move. And many doctors, even specialists, only read about it in textbooks. Rachel had become a case study in real life. And if you've made it this far, maybe consider subscribing. This kind of human-centered exploration is what we do every week on Mr. America. Also, if you're curious about how people with vision challenges experience the world, check out this affordable vision simulating lens kit. It's eye-opening, quite literally. Link is in the description. After the diagnosis, Rachel's life changed completely. She had to adjust not just to her physical limitations, but also to the reality that her condition was incurable. She left her job, moved closer to family, started documenting her medical journey. Her world became smaller, but her story, ironically, began reaching people globally. Because what she was facing wasn't just rare, it was largely invisible. There are over 300 types of mitochondrial diseases, each with its own unpredictable symptoms. And yet, funding for research remains shockingly low. These diseases often fall through the cracks. That's why stories like Rachel's matter. They bring visibility to what most people, and even many doctors, still don't fully understand. What do you think? Should rare diseases get more funding even if they affect fewer people? Comment your thoughts below. Rachel's story isn't just about one person and one diagnosis. It's about the medical blind spots we all live with, the assumptions doctors make, the systems that overlook the rare. And it's also about courage, the courage to keep asking questions when you feel dismissed, and to seek out answers even when they're terrifying. Today, Rachel is part of a clinical trial testing new mitochondrial therapies. Her health still fluctuates, but her voice, it's stronger than ever. She now speaks publicly about disability, medical advocacy, and pushing for early detection. Her experience is helping shape a better future for others. If you want to understand the biology of mitochondrial diseases better, there's a compact, easy-to-read book on rare genetic disorders I recommend. Link in the description. And hey, we have a Bitcoin donation address in the description if you believe in supporting independent storytelling like this. So here's the takeaway, friends. Sometimes the biggest battles are the ones we don't see, the ones inside ourselves, and the ones inside the healthcare system. Rachel Hyman's journey shows us the importance of listening, to your body, to your instincts, and sometimes to the things that don't show up in standard tests. Here on Mr. America, we dive deep into stories that mainstream media glosses over, stories that remind us of both the fragility and resilience of the human experience. If this episode made you think, subscribe. If it made you feel something, share it. Because even in a world full of algorithms and automation, human stories still matter. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and always keep asking, what's the story behind what we think we know?